Hey everybody, welcome to today's live stream. And this is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com. I posted something a few days ago that it was a mystery, some kind of mystery piano. And the mystery piano is a mystery no more because it is the Pianoforte from Audio Brewers. And we're gonna have a special time today because we actually have Alejandro Cabrera from Audio Brewers with us today. And we're just gonna take some time and talk about this piano and about Audio Brewers and how they approach sampling and sample libraries and kind of get a peek behind the curtains. So this is Pianoforte. It is a beautiful Fazioli grand piano, and this it's just going to be a good experience. And so if it's your first time here, you know, make sure you subscribe and like the videos, and that way we can keep producing content that you enjoy, and just relax and enjoy this this time that we have together. I just always count it a privilege and an honor to be able to come on this platform and share with all of you guys. So, all right, so Alejandro, are you there? Alejandro Cabrera from Audio Brewers, and he is the lead developer for Audio Brewers. And you are actually in Greece, so you are 7 hours ahead of where I am in the Eastern time zone. So I wanted just to introduce you to the viewers. And Alejandro, go ahead and just share a little bit. We were talking about how you first got started in music, so let's just pick up from right there.
Yeah, so you know, I've always been in love with music. Since I was a little kid, I always wanted to be a musician. When I was a little kid, I thought I wanted to be a rock musician, but then I started studying and I fell in love with jazz, and I finished my studies as a jazz composer and arranger. But then I was so much into computers as well that I started doing as well sound design as my part hobby. And then at some point when I was doing my studies in sound engineering, I created one library just because I wanted to explore the world of Kontakt. You know, I had no idea of anything. And I created this library called K Footsteps, which is a library which is footsteps, you know.
Oh, wow.
That was like in 2010 or 11, something like that. Afterwards, I was with ADO for almost 8 years, and I was on top of about 100 libraries with them.
Wow.
And then last year I decided, you know, it was time for me to try and start something new, you know. So I decided to start Audio Brewers as a new company.
Okay, the name Audio Brewers. Now, how did you come up with that name? What was the story behind that?
So it is so difficult to find a good name, you know, for a company.
Yeah.
But you know, all I could think was like, okay, I'm just brewing the audio, you know, from scratch, you know.
It's like roasting your own coffee beans.
Exactly, you know, like you're creating. It's not only playing the piano, but it's like you grab the sample, you treat the sample, you make it perfect, and then you put it in the code, and then the user plays the sample, you know. So it's like a whole process, you know, to create an instrument.
So like coffee, so you know, there is one coffee bean, and you know, coffee is made from the same coffee bean, but what makes it different is the soil, the country, the process. And so that's really interesting because you can have the same piano. Everybody could have the same piano, the same bean, the same coffee bean, but they're going to roast it a little differently. They're going to love it a little differently. They're going to put something of themselves. They're going to put something of themselves in it. So that's what I love. And let me tell you, I don't know why, but like when I first started playing this piano, especially, I love Antonio Carlos Jobim. I mean, I am just like, and I had just only discovered his music just a few years ago, and I love it. And so that jazz stuff that you're talking about, see, I think that's a part of yourself that you've put into this instrument, and that's a vibe. That's a vibe. I believe this, that I've played pianos in different parts of the world, and every piano that you sit behind, there's something inside of that piano that creates an emotion or creates something different for me when I'm playing it. So it's the same because you actually were the one that did all the sampling. So let's talk about that a little bit. So most people think, well, you just go in and play a couple of notes on the piano and you record it and you loop it, blah, blah, blah. So give us a little insight into what it actually takes to make a sample library like this that we're going to listen to.
So the process of making a library, it's so complex, you know. As you said, some people think that it's just about sitting down and playing some keys. But to be honest, is like, in order to play a piano, it's not just about pressing the key. You have to actually press it, like in order to get 20 or 24 different dynamic ranges out of one key, you really have to get in touch with the weight of each of the keys. And in a piano, each of the keys weights differently, you know?
Yeah.
The higher you go, the lighter it is, you know? And this is why I don't like the robot approach to sampling pianos, you know.
Okay.
To me, like, it was something that I tried in the beginning with the upright when I was thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to approach it? I tried the concept of robots, but it just misses something, you know. Like, there's nothing more powerful than the human playing the instrument. There is like a connection.
Okay. So you tried that approach. I think the thing that they're trying to get with that is just consistency, but yet it can be to the point where it's too clinical. That's the word. It's too clinical. It's too perfect. And I think a lot of times that perfection it's kind of the uncanny valley type of thing, where something is close, but it's not that close, and so it throws us into something. So that's really interesting.
But it's not only that; is that the piano itself is not consistent, because each key weights differently, and you have to feel the key in order to know with your brain how much pressure you have to apply to the key. A robot doesn't know that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It just knows velocities and it just knows right now 0 to 127. All right. So let's do some playing. So tell us a little bit about pianoforte, the type of piano that you used, and that type of thing. And then we're going to play a little bit. Then we're going to come back, and I want to talk to you about Ambisonics, because I know that is on a lot of people's minds, because that's something fairly new to a lot of us. And so that's going to be interesting to hear some background about that. Let me just pull this up. I'm going to keep you on the line, but tell us a little bit about pianoforte.
So pianoforte features a Fazioli, as you said before. It took me about 25 hours to sample the piano, to record it. But after the recording, that's just the beginning. Then you have like months that you have to spend cleaning the samples, cutting the samples, mixing the samples. Mixing pianoforte was a very difficult task for me, because I personally was trying to get something that people would like, but at the same time that I would like. And this is what you said before, like this jazz approach. There are many pianos in the market right now that sound too classical for my taste, and I didn't really want to get there. So yeah, I can tell you that I remixed pianoforte at least 5 times. Crazy. So
someone asked, a lot of us are kind of obsessed with velocity layers and that type of thing. So what was your goal as far as that goes, as far as how many velocity layers did you actually incorporate with this, and how important is that in a library?
Well, you know, there are different types of approaching a piano. Like, the less velocity layers you have, some people might like it because there is less difference in between the layers, you know, but there is less realism to me, you know.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that the more you can get, the better. I am at a point in my life where when I'm sampling a piano, I no longer count how many velocities I'm doing. I just kind of feel if I'm there, you know?
Yeah.
So I just start playing, I'm playing harder, I'm playing harder, I'm playing harder, until I can feel that I just reached the fortissimo that this note has, you know?
Yeah.
And this is why pianoforte has up to 24 velocity layers, is because some keys have 24, some others have less. You know,
it just depends on.
Felt that the key just gave that.
It just depends on what you were feeling at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me see what I've got here. Okay, so I have pulled the mixes preset up here, or the instrument, and I love those little animations. It's just like, oh, it just comes in. Now, now I have to tell you, this is the first thing that I've done when I go in here. I turn the attack So I can get that full attack, and then I just kind of tweak that release into about 11 o'clock, just to kind of get it to kind of just go out there like that. Okay, and then what I've done too, the velocity scaling, that's kind of interesting. And on the SL88, let me just kind of listen to this. The SL88 has such a soft dynamic. And then the mixer. So just looking at this screen, you've got the envelope controls, the pitch. So you've got 4 assignable controls on the front screen that you can go in and click on any of these parameters and assign it to the front. Yeah, so the main, let's see what the main has. The main has the reverb control. Yeah, and I think that's really cool because you can go ahead and pick your favorite things and assign them to this front end. And then that also affects how the FRESCO works as well, because you can assign those, because the FRESCO is based on these 4 main controls. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, yeah, we're jumping around here. Let me just play something. And see, that's what I like about this, is because it's so soft. And so okay, so we've got the balanced mix here. So explain to us about the miking of this balanced mix.
Yeah, so the miking is the same. It's just the mix that changes. The balance mix, I wanted to give a presence to the piano, you know, when the piano has to be in the foreground of your music, when it is the main character of your music, that's the balance mix.
Okay.
But then you have the punchy mix that has more attack, and it kind of has like a Bill Evans type of feeling, that you feel that you're playing that type of music, you know, like jazz from the 70s, and it sounds cool as well.
Yeah, you know, Herbie Hancock loves Fazioli pianos. Yeah. It's just got such a beautiful tone. So let's see. And then the intimate, describe that for us.
So the intimate is a darker mix. It's better to have like static chords in the background, more like a pad kind of piano, you know.
Okay. And then the raw mix.
But the raw mix is just all the microphones together with no processing. So is in case you want to do your own EQ and stuff, you know.
And what microphones did you use besides the Ambisonics mics?
So we used some Neumann U87s, and then we used the AKG, like the 414s.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then we use also the Ambisonics microphones.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm just going to go through here and just play some of these. I'm going to start with the balanced mix. I'll just go down the line and we'll just have some fun, just kind of exploring these different mixes here. I'm just learning that one. Corcovado, Quiet Nights. That was the very first Joe Beam song that I ever heard. Was that Quiet Nights of Quiet Stars, quiet chords from my guitar, and the beauty that surrounds us. See, that just kind of sits there right where it needs to. Oh, how lovely. And all the way up. Yeah. It's like a warm blanket or something. That's the only way I can describe the feeling of that. It's just beautiful. Okay, so let me, yeah. See, that's the thing. You can just get sucked right into this. Yeah. This is just like that that balanced mix, and it's just so beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to another mix here. Yeah, see, that's the thing. When you just feel it, you know, you don't have to try to make it sound good. It's just like, it just feels good. It's just like, it's just right there. I think if you find yourself trying to make something sound good, then something's wrong at the very beginning. But that's the thing that I noticed when you did the upright. The upright, when I first hit the note, it was just like the samples, the audio was just like, it was great. It was just clear. It was right there. You didn't have to mess with it. So this is the intimate. It's very warm. It's just very warm. And I wonder, we might could try to get some crazier things in a minute. Yeah, so you said this is like, the intimate is just a kind of for, yeah, let's put some more room in here. And I'm in D flat today. It seems like sometimes it just depends on. Yeah. Now see, this reminds me of, yeah. And one thing that I'm doing, I'm hoping I'm catching this. Yes. So someone asked me, are you recording MIDI files of what you're playing? And you know, I have not been doing that, but today I thought, well, let me just keep it recording. And so it's capturing the MIDI. And so I'm thinking about some different ways that I can provide resources and things, you know, for those that support the channel and that type of thing, just trying to come up with some ways that I can just provide some more. So I've got the MIDI recording, so we'll see what happens, because I forget a lot of times what I play. Somebody says, what did you just play? And I said, I don't know, I forgot, because it's in the moment. It's in the moment. It's where I love to be a lot of times. But let's see if we can, yeah, and this is just my favorite Groove Agent 3. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. You could just stay on that bossa nova for forever. Let's see. There may be trouble ahead. Let's see if I can get some more volume. But while there's moonlight and romance, let's face the music and dance. Yeah. It's just, I just love it. I just love it. So that's the intimate. Thanks everybody for joining us. It's so much fun. Now the raw is just all the mics together, correct? Okay.
No processing, so you might need to apply your own EQ, like find it yourself, kinda.
So these slots here.
So these are your inserts, right? So
okay.
you select any of the inserts, and then you go to the effects, and then you insert an effect. In the insert,
okay. So
right?
okay, there we go. So like
so you can add.
So we've got the reverb here,
depending on the channel.
And so here's the reverb, and so we've got all those controls. So now if we go here, okay, so we can put a tape emulation. You've got all of these different reverbs. Okay, so the reverb you can have like the plate, the convolution reverb, okay, and the tonal reverb. Okay, interesting.
So the tonal reverb is a design of us as well.
It's what? What is it?
It's a design of us, the tonal reverb.
Okay.
We actually created impulse responses with a tonality so that you can select the tone the key you are playing on, and it's just going to give more reverberance on that specific root note.
Wow. Okay, so this is gentle. Yeah, I can hear that. It's just amazing. So, strong brew. So we've got a strong brew. So let's check that out. Really interesting. It's amazing what you can do in Kontakt. I mean, they've given you so many different things that you can do. So I'm going to just put that reverb back here, and let's see. Yeah, so you've got like a delay. Yeah. Yeah, and then, yeah. Okay, so we don't have an insert yet. So we have it here. Okay, and then when it's active, yeah, so that's really cool. Yeah, yeah. It's like you fall down into the rabbit hole. It's like, here we go. It's just like, it's amazing. And it's amazing that you've given us all of this, all of these opportunities. Okay, so that's the balance mix. And so let's do this. So let's see, we've got some presets. Okay, una corda, before we go on to some crazy stuff. So una corda, so you did, now this is a real una corda, is that, so this is not just like simulated una corda, this is a whole,
No.
This is a sample set where you actually sampled the una corda. So we actually, see a lot of times, I know of several sample library companies, they don't give you the true una corda, and you've got to have that because it physically is shifting the whole thing. The keyboard's shifting all the way over, so it's just hitting that one string. So this is, yeah, this is great. So this is a real una corda. Yeah, you hear that? So it takes something intimate and it just takes it into another level. And then let's see the mixer. So we have the same setup here. We've got the same mixes. Is that right? So we've got the same type of mixes, and then we can actually combine those. So I've got the balanced and the intimate here. Okay, so let's see. Yeah. And Alejandro, thank you so much for sticking in here with us. And it's just such a pleasure to have you here. I should make this a prize. I don't know. See, I don't know what I'm gonna play. But do you recognize that tune? Do you know? I bet you my wife knows. It's the theme song from Elf that Will Ferrell. Yeah, it's la da 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 da. Yeah, but you see how tones and sounds take you through there. But see, man, beautiful, just beautiful. There were bells on the hills, but I never heard them ringing, though I never heard them at all, till there was you. Now we're in the Music Man. Yeah, but just that beautiful. Okay, magical. It is just very magical. So let's just pull up the Punchy mix. And see, that's the thing. You don't have to, I mean, you've done such an excellent job at giving us things very tasteful right out of the box. And
that is like my priority. I don't want people to spend time moving settings. I want it to work from the beginning.
Yeah, you've done it. You've done a good job. Oh, okay. So when you hit that interval, yeah, see, it's just different things. See, yeah. And we've not even talked about Ambisonics yet, and okay, so let's talk about Ambisonics. What is Ambisonics, and how can it be used with something like this?
Yeah, so, you know, I've been working in this industry for almost a decade, and at a point, I reached a point where I was just, it was more of the same. Like, you know, like a library comes out, and the difference is that there are more microphones, or there are more musicians, or the hall is bigger. But, you know, how many times can you sample an instrument, you know?
Absolutely.
So I have always been obsessed with the surround effect that music can have on you. And I am amazed. I have always been amazed at how little we have exploited it, you know? Video has evolved so much, but music has been stuck in the same concept for so many years. And there was an attempt to approach music in the surround field. You know, there have been like a couple of mixes of Pink Floyd and Queen, you know, in 5.1 and everything. But the problem with surround and stereo is that each microphone just gives you a print. Sorry, each speaker is the print of what the microphone had captured. You know, so when you have like a stereo field. You have like the leftmost key of the piano is on the left, the rightmost is on the right, and when you narrow down the stereophony, that you're just bringing the left to the center and the right to the center. So Ambisonics is a completely different concept because you don't have a printed sound of what a speaker will play. It's more like MS stereo versus stereo, where in stereo you have the left and the right channel.
Like the mid-side. You're talking about mid-side and
exactly.
Stereo. Okay.
Exactly. And in the mid-side, you have like on one channel, you have everything. And then on the other channel, you just have the sides. So you can decide one side is going to play everything plus the side, and the other side is going to play everything minus the side. And you can decide how narrow this stereophony is. In Ambisonics, you have the same, but in 3 dimensions. You have sides, you have front and back, and you have top and bottom. So you can control where exactly you want your sound to come from. So if you have the leftmost key of the piano and you narrow the field of the stereophony a little bit more of the center, the key is going to remain there, you know. What's going to change is how the sound approaches you, because in real life, when you turn your head, the sound doesn't move with you. The sound remains there. It's just how it goes to your ear that changes. And
so
this is what changes.
Yeah, so if I'm listening in stereo, I'm playing this, and if I turn my head, I'm going to hear the same here as I hear here, as I hear here. But Ambisonics says when I turn my head this way, the piano is here, but now I'm hearing it a little bit here and a little bit here, that type of thing.
But the piano's still there.
The piano's still in the same spot. But but it's like if you were in a concert hall, where you sit in that hall is where you're going to is the perspective. So it's basically like creating a dynamic perspective for the listener.
And it's three-dimensional dynamic, so you can control. For example, if your setup has speakers on the roof, on the ceiling, you can control. You want the sound to come exactly how it should approach your head, you know, from the ceiling. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing that you have the freedom of controlling where the sound is generated from, and the speaker is going to print it on the spot.
Yeah,
and the sound is never going to be the same, you know.
So have you experienced anything with the AirPods Pro spatial audio? Because I think that is what is interesting, because that's kind of opening it up for consumer. It's bringing it down to a more consumer thing, because you can mix something and use that spatial audio in your AirPods and take advantage of that.
And so here in the Brewers, we use the Waves, the tracker. So it's a tracker that you put in your headphones. So the nice thing is that this opens a door. If you work in stereo, this opens a door in how you're going to pan your instruments, because it's no longer a hard panning on, I'm just going to bring this to the left, like hard panned.
Yeah.
But you bring the instrument to the left and it sounds exactly how it will sound on your left. Like your right ear is not listening less. It's just listening differently.
Because it picks up it picks it up. The psychoacoustics, it just,
Exactly.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is also that when you're composing music, it doesn't matter what your setup is. If you compose something and you send it to me, I can hear it in surround 5.1 or in Atmos or in my headphones in binaural. I can decide how I want to hear this music.
Or stereo.
You can export it or stereo.
Yeah, you have that. You have total flexibility. Let's pull up the mixes again. You just have to have a sound when that comes. Okay, so here we go. So we're back at this modulate. Okay, so the pedal resonance.
If you open the Hamburger menu, you have.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. That's where we go. So the pedal resonance is right here. No, the pedal resonance is here. So we can.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm going to turn the reverb all the way dry so we can hear what that resonance sounds like. I've got the damper. Oh, okay, let's see. Yeah. So I'll turn the damper pedal noise off so we can just hear what that resonance sounds like. So here's with the. It just gives it a nice color. And you hear that ringing. It just kind of rings. I like to hear that piano ring out a little bit. That's why I put. Let me just see something. And I like to just have those little and I love the fact that we can adjust these. There are a few piano libraries that have so much mechanics in there, and you can't do anything with them. So being able to have just a little bit of that little bit of that. Okay, so you know what? So that plate reverb. Okay, so da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so let's just see something here. It's not just for class. I'm just trying to see if we can get something punchy. Just trying to see where we can push this. Yeah. Yeah. And let me see something. So the curve, yeah, we can adjust that velocity curve a little bit and just kind of get it. And then this sets the limits, I guess. This is like something we can set we can compress the range.
But it doesn't only set the limits, but the library will recalculate your playing style. So it doesn't cap the velocity, but it just recalculate everything so that it fits in the limits that you have set.
Okay. And then the intensity kind of plays with that as well. So that all kind of works together. Okay, cool. Yeah, because I can hear more of the punch, the higher dynamics coming through now. Okay, that's really cool. So let's just see the microphones, and then we can kind of just go through that mix real quick. I got to do that. I got to do that every time. Okay. So the raw mix again is what we have. It's the same microphone positions, and then we have the ears. Now the ears. Now is that an actual binaural mic?
No. These were a pair of AKG 414s, and they are mixed a little bit with the Ambisonics microphones.
Okay.
But they're like at the ear level of the musician.
Yeah. Yeah, so with these new biodynamics, I can just really hear that soundstage, just kind of like, yeah, it's right there. And then the frame, now where are those mics placed?
The frame is where the hammer hits the string, so it has a lot of attack.
Okay, are they pointed over the hammers?
Yes.
Okay, so so they're like directly over the hammers, so that so that gives it that bite. Yeah, you've got to have that mic over the hammers just really makes a difference. Yeah, okay, cool. And then the soundboard. So
these are the typical microphones that you put on the soundboard to absorb, the whole body of the piano.
So the lid's up like this, and so the mics are kind of placed outside, pointing towards a
little bit above of the strings. So you have like the left microphone, like the high microphone is on more in front, but the low microphone is a little bit more on the back.
like that. I like that.
It's important.
And then to be able to blend those together is great. Okay, let me just check out something.
So these microphones are unprocessed. So you see that you have the EQ on each microphone. You have an EQ.
Yeah.
It's because the EQ is an insert. So you can just change it or disable it or leave it. You know, it's up to you.
Okay.
You create your own mix in this patch.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do, I want to go into some of these sound design presets. I'm going to show this because these are sound design presets. So how to explain some of these presets. I'm going to pull up Amnesia just for starters.
So just to mention, every preset is compatible with your mod wheel. So you always control something with your mod wheel.
Okay. So in this case, the mod joystick. So this is Amnesia. And then this is cool too, because so these are just different processed sounds and samples and layers. These are all different layers, correct?
Yeah, so we created like sound design paths from the piano itself, but we created them in native Ambisonics, so they're compatible with Ambisonics as well. So they will surround you if you're using the Ambisonics version.
Wow. Okay, so here we go.
But you can use the stereo version as well. Like both versions come included in Pianoforte.
Yes.
So if you don't want to have any relationship with Ambisonics whatsoever, you still have the stereo version.
Okay, so here we go. Who are you? What's my name? It's Amnesia. I can't. Okay, I'm gonna try this. So this is FRESCO. Now let's, this is what we're gonna do. So I can hold a key and record.
But you gotta assign it.
And then we've got to go low pass. And then, okay, so the modulation, we can do the effects here, right? And then assign these. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. So that's just playing with that low pass filter. Let's see, that's cool. There we go. And that's just doing and automating that low pass. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's see something here. Okay, like the, okay. So modern, is that a delay? Is that a delay? Yes, yeah. It is a delay. So let's see here, and let's put it there. Now when we go back to the main, that delay feedback is gonna be on the Y-axis now, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we re-trigger it. Yeah, see, that's, and again, that's like another layer of the onion. It's just like you've got this extra creativity. Yeah, that's just incredible. Okay, so we've got some pads here. Yeah, a lot of times you forget about the Hamburger button over here because it's just kind of tucked away over here. But then when you open that up, I mean, my goodness gracious. So you've got those 5 different assignments that when you're in these effects, the modulation, so you can route the modulation to either.
You can route them to whatever layer.
Yeah, to one or all 5 of those. Okay.
Yes.
So this is just the keystrokes here, and then you've got the muted. And then you can just stack. It's almost like a pizzicato sound. And then bouncing. Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, and then, so you've got all of these different processed, okay. The rotor. So frozen. Wow. It almost sounds like it's going through a Leslie. That's a little disturbing, but beautiful at the same time. Interesting. Okay, wow. Just having all of these different sounds, you can just pick and choose what you want and come back and just save your own snapshots and presets. Yeah, that's really cool. So what is, you know, I know that, I know you can't really say anything about what's next, but where do you see Audio Brewers going in the next little bit?
We definitely want to stick to Ambisonics. We believe that sound has so much to explore. We have so much to explore in sound that hasn't been explored. This is a new horizon that we have in front of us, and so we have like 7 or 8 instruments right now in the pipeline, but we have so many other things that we're trying to work on. We just need more time.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something that's precious. Time is very precious. Okay, so I notice when yeah. There's just so much emotion in here that so all of the links are going to be down in the description below, and I just want to thank Alejandro for joining me today. Yeah. Okay, so let's just go out with this. Here we go again with this. You know, when I started playing that, it was that agua de beber. So this is Simeon and Alejandro. Just hoping you have a great rest of your day. And if you're in Alejandro's time zone, I wish you a good night, and God bless everybody. And you know, thanks for all the support. We'll see you soon.